It's the SKOR North Twins Show.
All right, SKOR North Twins Show, we're back. The Twins don't want to make any significant moves and get into the hot stove season. Do I have the burner, actually? I think I do have the burner.
Do you have it?
I do have the burner.
I should put it on here, too.
It's probably gonna cut off the intro, but that's okay. Here we go.
Oh, there it is.
There it is. There it is. Feel that burner.
Busy right-sizing their business while other teams.
I feel little Dodgers heat. I feel some Mets heat right there. Oh, that feels good.
Some Blue Jays heat.
I feel some Red Sox heat. Aroldis Chapman signing with the Red Sox. Perhaps my favorite move to date. He is my age. And a despicable human, but...
But he throws hard still, and so we don't really.
He was done after the 2016 World Series when Joe Madden, with no conscience, abused him.
Yeah, and there's all this action now, but keep in mind the winter meetings, I believe, start Sunday night into. It's usually like Sunday night through Thursday is kind of the hot period for every other team except for the Twins. So we'll see.
All right, so we do have a little bit more Carlos Correa rumors, steam. I saw this come out from, I believe it's former Major Leaguer Carlos, is it Barrega? I think is how you pronounce it.
Let's give Declan a few chances to pronounce this really good Indian Guardian.
One of the three best shortstops early 90s in the American League.
Agreed.
Alomar, Knobloch,
and this
Carlos.
Barrega? I don't know how to pronounce this.
Carlos Baerga.
He was one of the three best.
Yeah.
You were born after he was good, in fairness, or around the time that he started to fade. And then, he went to the Mets, and his career kind of dropped off. Weird, like, unbelievable player, and then hit some sort of wall before his prime.
Great mustache.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, wonder why that could have been.
Yeah, it's weird. The 90s, like what happened in the 90s? It's so weird. Like I remember there was this guy named Jermaine Dye who was like a slappy outfielder, and all of a sudden he couldn't stop hitting home runs.
It's crazy.
Brady Anderson, 50 home runs. He was Mays. What happened to Brady?
Yeah, weird. Baerga was hitting .305 his first six big league seasons, OPS plus even over 100, and then never really did anything afterwards at age 26. I wonder what happened.
Super weird.
Anyhow,
that guy.
It's like he stopped doing what he was doing previously. I don't know why.
Hitting. You mean hitting? Well, yes.
Hitting. Anyway, that's exactly what happened. So he threw out this rumor that around Carlos Correa that for me these teams need a ball player like him. The Yankees, the Mets, and the Dodgers. So three teams with gigantic payrolls, obviously, room to spend. Now Correa's been linked to the Mets before. Obviously, he almost signed a contract with the New York Mets. The Yankees, man, that would be something. And we discussed a Yankee rumor a few weeks ago on the SKOR North Twins Show. You can find that episode. And the Dodgers they have all the money in the world. They'll defer it. They get creative. It doesn't really matter. They'll find a way to sign any guy for any means. So I did find a Correa Dodgers trade rumor also from Bleacher Report that came out about 3 weeks ago. So the Baerga thing came out recently, but this trade proposal, very reckless speculation here from Bleacher Report. So he listed
reckless speculation.
8 buy low stars on the market. So this would be buying low on Correa. So this is a trade proposal to LA, and the Twins would obviously send Correa, and the Twins would get right-handed pitcher Bobby Miller, who was really good with the Dodgers in 23, but then wasn't so good last year. And they would also get the Dodgers' 10th best prospect, Edgardo Henriquez. So a fringe top 10 prospect.
Okay.
Top 10 prospect, I will say, in the Dodgers system. So, I mean, not all top 10 prospects are created equal, but we all know the Dodgers can produce really good players. And they would get some throw-in pitcher that maybe still has some untapped upside, and we'll see what would be there. But it'd be difficult for the Twins to just move Correa, and we've talked about this, and expect like a haul back because of the contract, because of the ticking time bomb that is his ankle. It would be more of a salary dump. I'm still on the record that I keep Carlos Correa and I build around him in 2024.
There's a lot to unpack on the. Carlos Baerga is from Puerto Rico, and Carlos Correa is from Puerto Rico, right? So those guys probably have a ton of. I don't know how close they are, but the Puerto Rican baseball community tends to be a very close, prideful community. And so if he is saying things, I don't just think it's not random. There feels like there's maybe some smoke behind the scenes here. And if a trade like that came to fruition, it almost feels like it would come out of nowhere, where it would just be, because I don't know that Carlos is in the market of like doing the laundry publicly. I think if he was unhappy with the direction of the franchise, the uncertainty of the ownership situation, and just like, hey, my body clock is ticking. I'm going to be 30 years old. Right. I've been missing a bunch of time. I want to go here. I want to win a World Series. So if you guys aren't pushing to win a World Series, that's not what I signed up for. I'm not going to make a big deal out of it as long as you trade me. I think it would all happen behind the scenes. So if you're the Twins, I'd flip this around. And I actually, I take issue with the headline of that article that says, buy low candidates. Carlos Correa batted .310 with like a 900 OPS last season, and he was a 4.5 win player above 4.5 WAR above replacement in 90 games or less than 90 games. So I guess the buy low part would be the injury risk and all of the contract on the back end. Right. But make no mistake, like you'd be buying one of the best players in baseball for when he's on the field. The only way I trade him under two circumstances. One, I think his leg is a ticking time bomb. We've seen enough evidence, and this is the peak of his value right now. And even if we were trying to win a World Series, he's not going to be healthy enough to help and be reliable. And 1B to that, I don't want to be trading him for 50 cents on the dollar. I want, if I'm trading Carlos Correa in his prime, I know there's been some injuries. I'm going to need one of your top prospects minimum and something else to make that a conversation worth having.
Well, and I think the buy low thing is fair because, I mean, it's been 2 consecutive years now where he's not buy low as a player. He's buy low as a body because his body is basically, if it's not a ticking time bomb, it's a concern. He did not get failed by the Giants and Mets because they thought, oh, this is going to be fun. He got failed. And then the fact that he had the problem with plantar fasciitis in the same leg that he had the broken. There's just a lot of things here. But, Phil, I think you nailed it. I don't think that Boris and Correa, what is the incentive to publicly say, we want out? There's none. So, but if you say, you know what, we want out privately. And the Twins are like, hold on a second here.
We can save $30 million.
Exactly. We're right-sizing the business, and we could get some prospects. You just nailed it. So, and look, we can talk all we want. We right-size today. It's your Christmas shopping list.
We're gonna right-size.
We're gonna do it now.
Cut costs.
We're gonna cut payroll. That's how we're gonna score. We don't care about runs, but we care about right-size. So anyway, to your point, I think that is exactly it, and I'm also not buying unless the Twins are far closer to being sold than we think, and we don't think that right now. I'm not buying that the payroll is going to stay the same, and it's let's see what it is, right? Yeah. Opening day, but the other thing too is I've given this some thought. If I'm a team that's going to trade, because I would consider this. If I'm a contender, I would consider this. But if I'm a team that's going to trade for Carlos Correa, as is. He's been failed on 2 physicals, plantar fasciitis, which I've never heard of this, back-to-back years in different feet. But we've dealt with it a lot in town, but back-to-back years, and now it's in the concerning leg. I'm not trading for him unless I can move him to third base because I don't think he can play shortstop anymore.
Yeah, because range is going to continue to be an issue.
But I think I think part of the problem with his feet is he's so good. This sucks to say because it's a shame. But if you think about it logically, if he's playing shortstop, which he was here every day, right? And his range is phenomenal. But think about the wear and tear there. If I can put him in a stationary position, which is essentially third base, I think you have a lot better chance of the time bomb not going off than you do if he's going to his left, if he's going to his right, if he's running constantly. So, and the Yankees could leave Volpe at shortstop. Now, the Dodgers, I don't think have a great option there. So they actually might want him to play short, which if they'll take him and give you a bunch in return is fine. But my point is, I think part of the problem here, if you're the Twins and you're concerned, which you should be about Carlos's health, is I think him playing shortstop is actually going to short circuit his career, despite the fact he's still good there. That's the issue. It's not like he has to move because he sucks there. But I just think the wear and tear has become, I think we're seeing evidence that it's become a real problem for Carlos Correa.
The Twins are also just in a really precarious spot because go back a year and change ago, and they were at this peak moment, public relations wise, fan interest. They finally broke the 0-18 playoff game stretch and the 20-year playoff series stretch. Like, they had everyone. And now they've lost all of that goodwill and more. And now the poll ads are selling the team. So it kind of feels like no one even internally gives a rat's ass about whether they win a World Series. They just swapped out like Dave St. Peter stepping down in Q1 next year. So it's like there's all this change, and all the talk is about right-sizing the business and selling the team and figuring out what the TV situation is going to be. And like way down the priority list is go win a World Series. There's no talk about winning a World Series right now in and among all the chaos.
Correct.
So if you're the Twins and you're part of your model now is you need to get, there's other ways they're going to make money through TV, but one of the primary ways is getting people to fork over direct $100-$120 to stream Twins games.
Yeah.
Well, what incentive, if you trade Carlos Correa, not that he's been like a huge draw. Go look at the attendance the last few years. It's not like he's bringing 10,000 extra people to the games, but he's a really good player, and he's one of your best pieces to be super competitive in 2025. If you trade him for like this deal that Declan brought up in this article, for the Dodgers' 10th best prospect and like an arm no one's heard about, and you get worse in 2025. How are you getting people excited? This is an entertainment product, and part of the entertainment product is winning, but part of it's also like, who would I pay money to go watch play? They're in a really, really precarious situation with fan interest right now. I would put that on the table as a reason to not trade Carlos Correa.
Unfortunately, I think they're screwed regardless. Like, I think with him, they have caused people to check out so much now. In part because they took them up the mountaintop and were like, we won a playoff game, we did this, and then just said, you know what, we're going to pull the ledge out and you're going to fall. Yeah. So I agree with your premise. I think you're right, but here's the problem. I think television subscription-wise for 2025, they are screwed. I think with Correa, without him, like the reason why I could see Correa being dumped, one is he wouldn't mind it, but two is I don't know the poll ads. The poll ads want to right-size this thing to sell. So I don't know they care about what you're saying right now, because they just want to have a financially sleek, slim organization that can be sold for billions, and they ride off into the sunset, waving with probably a middle index or a middle finger of sorts extended. So I don't know they care.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
That's where, if he wants out, I think he maybe has already asked, what is our long-term plan here? And if things are not addressed or fixed, or there isn't any type of movement to make the team better by the time spring training rolls around, that's why I still see, not like Jimmy Butler completely blowing it up, but I see Correa as someone who has very good connections with a lot of MLB insiders to say, yeah, I want out. I gave these guys 8 weeks to figure out roster additions. They're not going to do anything. Get me out of here. But as of now, no, I don't think he does that.
Mm-hmm. Ken Rosenthal.
So we did talk with Royce yesterday about the golden bat idea, the golden shower, I believe is what Patrick dubbed it.
I'd rather them take a golden shower on the field. No, Pat, no.
Let me be clear that I love this idea, and I get baseball purists hate the idea of the golden at bat. And by the way, if you haven't heard about the golden at bat, It's something Rob Manfred just casually dropped that it has been discussed, and the golden bat would be bring up a player once per game in a spot that you deem to be important in the game. So there's other rules that could be enforced with this or laws that could be enforced with this, but basically, if it's the bottom of the ninth and your worst hitter is coming up, you want Royce Lewis to come back up to the plate, you could do that. You get it once per game. For a sport in baseball, in my opinion, that is kind of not on life support, but has become a niche sport with a very, very niche market, and they can't market it to younger people, I do think you need drastic changes. And if that means pissing off your niche fan base, I think that risk is worth the reward. So Correa did talk to Jason Stark, who wrote about this in The Athletic. It sounds like Jason actually talked to a bunch of players about this around the All-Star weekend, which Correa was still a part of, even though he didn't participate in the game. And when Jason asked Correa, are you cool with this version? And maybe even the All-Star game bird. Like, could you make this into an All-Star game thing? Which actually I think is a good breeding ground of like, hey, let's put Aaron Judge back up again in the All-Star game. Why the hell not, right? Correa said, I think you're onto something right there. It's fun, right? Just put whoever you want in the ninth inning to hit. That would be great. I love it. When asked about the regular season, would you do this in the regular season? Correa said, my relievers are going to hate me if I say I agree with that one. I can't agree with that one because the relievers are going to be under really, really high stress all the time, and all the injuries are going to be even higher, which I do agree with Correa, that it puts the relievers and pitchers in a very, very tough spot. And Correa countered with, if we're going to do that, I think you should be able to bring in whatever pitcher you want then.
So you mean is he's basically saying like if that pitcher has not reached the 3-batter minimum, then it would go away and you could bring in a different pitcher.
Yeah.
I want to let me give you a real world example of this from, I just picked a random Twins game, like early part of September, where they were still only like 3 games back of the Guardians, and this is before like the full collapse the rest of September. So they're sitting there, they're trying to win this division. And it is the first week in September against the Rays. And the Twins are down 2-1 in the bottom of the ninth inning. And Carlos Santana singles to start the inning. So you now have a runner on first base. Let's get it, baby. Here we go. Edward Julian, you could argue that you probably pinch hit for Edward Julian in that spot. But Edward Julian then also singles. So now you have runners on first and second. Nobody out. 2-1 game. Let's get it, baby. Here we go. Okay, Brooks Lee. Let's give Brooks Lee a shot. He strikes out swinging. Damn. It's okay. Willie Castro. Just poke a ball to the outfield, right? Willie Castro strikes out swinging. Damn. Okay. Now there's 2 outs. Again, the winning run is on first base. Runners on first and second. Playoffs kind of on the line here. September baseball. Who's coming up to win the game for the Twins? Christian Vázquez. Okay, like that's baseball for 150 years. That it doesn't, like, everyone gets you got to go through the lineup 1 through 9, and they actually pinch hit Christian Vázquez for Trevor Larnach because they needed a right-handed batter to face the reliever that the Rays had. Well, instead of Vázquez being your only right-handed batter option, wouldn't baseball be more entertaining if Royce Lewis came up to the plate with runners on first and second, chance to win it, 2 outs, bottom, or I guess in this case, top of the ninth inning because it was on the road? And I know that Judd's sitting there saying, no, I'm a purist. Christian Vázquez must come up to the plate in that situation. But baseball has a fan interest problem. Baseball has they don't have any must-watch appointment television spots. Like, unless you're a diehard baseball fan, why would I tune into a Twins-Rays game? Oh, because, holy crap, it's the golden at-bat. Royce Lewis is coming back up to make this I'm on Team Declan. I'm all for baseball doing crazy things to make it more interesting.
This is a bridge too far. I am not a purist. I love the speed up rules. I think that putting the guy on second base to end games and extras is absolutely necessary. The pitch clock is probably one of the greatest inventions brought to baseball that I've ever seen. So I don't consider myself to be a purist because a purist hates those things. A purist wants the game to go 3:15 so that they can be a martyr. But in this case, no, I'm not for this. Like this alters the game too much for me. The speed up rules are great. and yes, they alter the game, but they alter it in a way that just makes what should happen go quicker. I have no interest in having a guy come back up to the plate. I get your guys' points. I just don't want to see that.
Why don't we care when other sports alter the game? Like when football is unrecognizable compared to 30 or 40 years ago. Like the hits, dude, that hit on Trevor Lawrence, we're suspending that dude 3 games. That would have been a highlight on Jacked Up 15 or 20 years ago. Football hasn't done anything like drastic in one move. It's been like a systematic changing of the game and the rules over the course of 30 years.
Sure.
And different. In basketball, I mean, we use this all. 40 years ago, they drew a new line on the court to make the game more interesting and entertaining. Mm-hmm. I know you hate the shootout in hockey, but they literally changed the way that a quarter of hockey games end every year.
And I hate that.
And so, baseball, it's like we're so stuck on like the way it's always been. And that's why I agree with you. The runner on second base and the pitch clock, freaking awesome. Don't stop there, is what I'm telling baseball. It's the only sport where the best players don't get to have an influence more often than the worst players. In hockey, go put your top line out there for an extra shift. Go make sure Kirill Kaprizov gets an extra 5 minutes compared to your third line winger. In basketball, if LeBron James wants to take 30 shots, he can. It's not, well, LeBron already took his 9 shots. Now we need to make sure that this rookie off the bench gets his 9 shots. If baseball skewed it a little bit toward the best players being featured more, I think that's a win for the sport.
But then why not just have them have golden at bats all as much as you possibly want?
Well, let's start with one. We'll start with.
But I'm just saying,
there's not a 20-point line in the NBA. Let's start. Let's go. That's a 3-point line.
It's too far for me. It's too far for me. Now I do think it's interesting that with what Stark wrote and his timing of talking to two people, it's pretty clear that this is a Manfred setup of, hey, I'm going to leak this eventually. And then you can write your thing and we will take the temperature, right?
Yeah.
Like this is clearly a feeler. But I get your guys' points. I just don't like it. I'm not as, I mean, Patrick says he's done with baseball. I would not be done with baseball.
By the way, he wouldn't be done with baseball. Nobody would be done with baseball. Well, but you'd all think it's amazing when it's happening.
But what I'm saying is I'm not going to threaten to be done, but I like speeding up the game. I like the fact that the shifts are out. I thought shifts were ridiculous. I don't like shifts.
Yeah. Did people complain in basketball? Like in basketball, at some point, the end of games were not that interesting because, there's only 1 second left and we have to inbound from under the hoop and throw a Hail Mary pass down there. And somebody at some point said, what if you have a timeout, you can advance the ball to half court and get a shot off from 3-point range or maybe even like throw a pass under the hoop. Oh, that's a wild, drastic change. Like these things that are perceived to be drastic in the moment actually make games better and make games more entertaining.
The 3-point line was the ABA, correct?
ABA in the 70s, NBA in 1980, 81.
Adopted it. So they got a look-see. Like, if you do this, are you going to try it elsewhere first is my question. But I mean, I get it. It might be popular. It's just it's a bridge too far for my taste. But I don't consider myself, just to be clear, a traditional purist now.
And my last point on this is, at its core, baseball is essentially floating a trial balloon to fans and casuals and everyone that says, for Twins fans, would you rather see a little more of Royce Lewis and a little less of Christian Vazquez in big spots with the game on the line? And I say, yes, I would. That would be great. That would make it much more entertaining. It would screw the numbers because guys would get 100 extra at-bats compared to previous 100 years.
How about if the pitcher could move closer then? So when the golden at-bat guy, who's really good, comes up, I can move from 50 feet and just hurl the ball as quick as I can.
That's not a thing that's being talked about. I feel like you're making it seem more, you're like adding, you're adding to it. Well, then
I am adding to it. I am adding to it because I think it's going too far. I think it's going too far to allow guys. So now you're going to have the golden at bat, which is going to allow a guy to come up for a guy when the whole point is you construct the lineup a certain way for a reason which I happen to enjoy.
Well, why do we have a designated hitter? Isn't that too? I mean,
I told you I
should,
didn't like.
everyone.
I'm not a huge fan. I like the pitchers hitting. I like the strategy. I've told you that for years.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I
I've
love
told you
automatic
that for-
outs. I love automatic outs in my lineup.
I've always said this. I love a good double switch, where the manager has. To
This is why
actually think.
baseball's dying,
Yeah,
because
that's
we
why,
feature
yes.
we featured double switches for the
Well,
last
we don't-
20 years.
We don't now. They're gone now.
Right, that's what I'm
Thank God.
saying. But like, as baseball's dying, we're like, I don't know about putting the designated. No, let's put better hitters in to make it more entertaining. Baseball's going to die. Like, baseball's going to die if things aren't done in the next 20 years.
We're all dying.
Is that a hot
Well,
take? Maybe
No,
a
it's
hot
not. It's
Well-
not- it's a niche sport.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of conversations about certain sports dying within the next 40 years or so.
take. Except for football.
Well, no,
The
football actually.
National Football League.
Football actually might be in trouble eventually, but I mean, I hope it's not. I believe me.
What
I
sport isn't in trouble in 20 years?
Basketball's in no trouble at all, right?
Dude, basketball ratings, basketball.
Well, but
The,
ratings.
the 3-point shot being,
Yeah, but let's.
it's making it
Native
pretty
AAU.
unwatchable.
So
Yeah.
the ratings.
the American player system
Well-
is a disaster.
Well, and college is a disaster. The ratings thing though it's very weird because we still like rely on those like it's 1986 at times. Like, are you telling me that the consumption of NBA games is really as down when people now have the league pass? And the league pass, by the way, I'm sure does not rate. And a lot of people watch that through streaming. Like I feel like the media, right? We're like still, what are your Nielsen ratings? What are your Arbitron ratings? And it's like, what are you talking about? You know, it's like the Twins next year. The Twins next year could do a 0.0, but if they get a bunch of subs, they ain't gonna care. And no, they're not going to. But it's weird. We try and like pass judgment on the only thing that ratings matter for is advertisers. And advertisers love one thing: live television that doesn't allow you to just go away.
Right,
That's
but
worse.
you need that business model in order to continue growing 10, $12 billion pies, so that, because that's the thing, like if you don't get people to watch in long form, and I don't think basketball is in any imminent danger, but like baseball I think is in the next 10 years, if you don't get people to watch, baseball doesn't know what its TV structure is.
Oh yeah,
That's
baseball's
crazy.
business is very much in flux.
And if you can't get people to watch in long form, then revenue goes way down and player salaries go down. And then people look around. If you're a great athlete, you're looking around saying after 10 years, wait, I could make this much more money playing this other sport than playing baseball now. Why would I
And that's already
screw
happened.
that, you know? Yeah. So anyways, let us know in the YouTube comments section if you agree with Team Judd, Team Purist.
Not
or-
a purist. Quit calling me a purist. I love
Team-
the clocks.
team
I love
old school
speeding
purist.
games up. I don't want to sit in Target Field in May for 17 innings to watch one game. Like I
Yeah.
love the guy on second is great.
But you'd love to watch Jose Miranda up there instead of Carlos Correa in the ninth inning.
What's wrong with Jose Miranda? I mean, he was great until July 1st when he
Yeah.
quit hitting home runs.
Dex is going to guide us through a random twin of the week here,
Yeah.
where Judd and I will battle each other. All-time stats: I've got 23 wins, Declan 22, Judd with 19. Dex will throw out some clues. We get up to 3 incorrect guesses each. If one of us hits a third strike, the other one wins automatically. Jacques Jones, Donnie Barrels,
Oh God.
Joe Mays, Rich Becker, the last handful of random twins here.
Okay.
By the way, this random twin sponsored by the Minnesota Twins. You can get your tickets, twinsbaseball.com/tickets. Actually, on the SKOR North app, you can even register to win a pair of tickets for Twins and Brewers in June. That's what we already have Twins tickets on the SKOR North app. You go to the SKOR North app, listener rewards, log in, enter for your chance to win those tickets.
Hey,
All right.
Twins fans.
Twins fans, here's your random twin of the week. This random twin of the week played in 227 games with the Twins. He had a career batting average of 240 in those 227 games with the Twins.
It's a pretty good average for a pitcher.
Twin. Okay, I gotta look at this. All right.
This random twin was drafted by both the Yankees and the Dodgers. He was drafted by the Yankees out of high school, did not sign, then drafted by the Dodgers the next year.
This is a clarification question here.
Yep.
Was he drafted the next year after, just specifically, how many years after his first draft? Do you have that in front of you? Was he drafted?
1 year. So he was drafted by the Yankees in 2012 and then drafted by the Dodgers in 2013.
Okay.
2012 and 2013.
This random twin of the week made just under $12 million with the Twins.
He didn't right-size the business.
Mm-mm.
It sounds like too much for a 240 hitter. This is what dragged the franchise down.
This random twin of the week was included in a trade from the Dodgers with Matt Kemp, Yasiel Puig, and Alex Wood.
Wait. Matt Kemp. Okay.
I think I have a guess, but I... Wow.
All right, here's a clue for you. This random twin of the week has spent at least 90 innings defensively at the following positions: first base, third base, catcher, shortstop, second base. Did I say second base already?
Is it Logan Forsythe?
Logan Forsythe is incorrect.
He didn't play 227 games here. I thought the same thing, but he wasn't here long.
I know.
You know?
That's with the Twins, you said?
That's with his
career.
His career, those defensive positions.
So did he, just again for clarification purposes, in the trade that you talked about that he was involved with, like with Puig, he was sent to the team in that trade from the Dodgers to the...
Correct. This random twin of the week played in the Futures game in 2015.
No, he wasn't.
Wow, this is... So he was like... The catcher thing.
Yeah. He was converted to a catcher in the minors. Played a little bit of catcher when he got called up, but did not spend a ton of time there.
This is a dark period of Twins baseball.
So he played first, third, catcher, shortstop.
His first major league at-bat was a walk-off. Hit a 2-run double, walk-off, in his first major league at-bat.
So 13. Okay, so he was... Okay. Have we done... I'm going to control F here. I think we've done this guy. Yes, we have done him.
This random twin of the week is 34 years old.
Yep. I think this is like a Bomba Squad twin here.
He obviously did not catch in Minnesota.
No, that is a clue. He did not catch with the Twins.
Okay.
I'll give you that. All right, maybe be ready on the microphone here. Phil, does have a guess first?
No.
Okay.
Okay. Go ahead.
He was the last Twin to hit a postseason home run on the road.
That's man, I have no clue.
Hold on. So
So 2 years ago, did they? Well, they went to Houston. Who hit a bomb in Houston? Someone hit a bomb in Houston.
Oh, you're right.
Who hit a bomb? Who hit a bomb in Houston?
Okay,
$12 million though. He would have been is he a free agent?
He was
Was
drafted.
acquired via trade.
So he was drafted by the Yankees. He signed with the Dodgers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that eliminates
The
him.
Twins traded for him.
The Twins are his only AL stop.
I'm so bad with like short term, like 2 years ago, going through that roster. Or maybe it wasn't. Maybe no one hit a home run on the road 2 years ago.
Crawford boxes. Somebody had to hit the Crawford boxes. Everyone hits the Crawford boxes. I think I hit the Crawford boxes once.
Was it 2000? Was it
Hold on.
19? At Yankee Stadium? Well, no, then 20. But 20 they played.
So we got.
They got bounced at home, and then they
This
missed.
random
Then they
twin
missed.
of the week is still active.
This guy was.
This is crazy.
Still active.
They
He's
traded
no
for
longer
him.
a twin.
Yep.
This guy wasn't. I don't know. I gotta get him out of my mind. 34 years old.
Kyle Farmer.
Ding, ding, ding.
Let's
Kyle
go,
Farmer.
dude. Let's
Kyle
go,
Farmer.
Kyle
Oh, was
Farmer.
it? Okay. Nice work.
My next
Farm
clue was
dog.
my
The
next
farm
clue was
dog.
gonna be you should be really thankful for this random twin of the week.
Good work. Good work.
The
All right.
farm dog. All right, Judd, it'll be your turn next week.
Yep.
For
Just signed with the Rockies. 1 year,
Blues.
$3 million deal.
Good for him, man.
Good for the farm dog. Really, yeah.
The
thanks.
farm dog.
The farm dog.
Wow, that's my first win in like 2 months on Random Twin of the Week since
did-
Logan Morrison back.
I don't
in-
remember him being a Dodger farm.
Yeah.
a
He
Dodger.
he debuted with the Dodgers, came up as a catcher, and he was
I was thinking back like
yeah,
2 or 3 years.
and was the Twins' emergency catcher this year, and for the last
right.
2 years. In the event that both their catchers would go down, it would be the farm dog.
Yeah, he's
So,
great. And he
Tricky.
was
Tricky.
great in
There's your
Tricky.
random
the-
twin.
Right in the clubhouse.
There's your reckless speculation. There's a purist Judd with baseball.
Yeah,
a lot
the
of
purist
great
with
things.
a capital P. Judd, the purist.
Evening,
That's not
Judd.
true.
The golden at bat. Dumbest rule in sports.
No, the shootout is.
The
The
shootout. I know
the
you hate
shootout's a
shootout.
dumber rule because at least the golden at bat wouldn't completely alter the makeup of the game. Like this would be baseball going to a home run derby to settle an extra innings game is the shootout. It's the same thing.
A lot of things alter the makeup
Yeah, but I
of
feel like
games
it would
across all
100%
sports, though.
alter the game.
The NFL
No, but they're
added
still
a
playing
2-point conversion 20 years ago.
but you're still playing the game. You're not
Right.
If you remote hear me out here.
The NFL adding a 2-point conversion is a much more wild, crazy change than baseball allowing a player to come up randomly, in my opinion.
But it would be if the 2-point conversion to go to the shootout. So I'm not talking about the golden at bat here. To go to the shootout, that would be the league saying we're going to have a receiver, a quarterback, and a defender, and that's it. The shootout strips away. The shootout's not the game of hockey.
Yeah, I don't
The
disagree on
2-point
the
conversion
shootout.
is
I
the
don't-
game. Yeah,
I
the
would
golden
rather-
at bat's
I would
still the
rather-
game. I just don't like it.
I'd rather hockey just like take players off the ice until someone scores a goal, until literally it's like goalies firing
The
shots at each other.
3-on-3 alters the game, but you're still playing the game of hockey. The shootout has nothing to do with the game.
Well, you're still playing baseball. You're just putting better players on the field.
Yes, I agree with you. I don't like the golden at bat, but it doesn't fundamentally alter how the game is being played.
Yeah.
As far as like the shootout, they basically said we're going to turn this game into a skills competition. If baseball went to an extra innings home run derby, that's the same thing.
I think we all agree that we don't want that, right? Can we all, at the end of this episode, agree that we don't want a home run?
no, I
derby?
don't.
I don't know. I'd be
Dex
cool
want
with
to
it.
fight that. You fight
No, I'd
that.
be cool with it.
I don't
I
think
would.
Dex
You know
cares.
what? Last thing before we say goodbye, I would get rid of 9 innings. You have 9 outs for 3 innings. Everyone bats. Everyone gets 1 turn to bat at least. Then you gotta. Then
Go
you gotta
Little
go.
League.
And you
That's
Go
how
gotta
I
Little
go.
League. You know what? The whole bench plays.
Yeah.
And they
Whole
all
bench.
get juice boxes.
Consolidates offense, reduces total amount of time. Be great. Love it. Hit the like button, subscribe button on the SKOR North Twins
Go to
Show. We'll
Hawaii.
still be pumping out content here.
Leave.
Purist Judd, me and
Not a
Radical
purist.
Mackey.
Stop.
Radical.